Well, back then, I mean, what I was hearing was a lot of slide guitar and a lot of twang. It was before Garth Brooks. I remember when Garth Brooks hit, and my dad was really excited about Garth Brooks, and I thought, that's pretty cool. He's kind of like a rock star country singer. And that was my first feeling that country's pretty hip.
Really, Garth Brooks, people keep mentioning him. He's very important in country music, isn't he?
He really shaped and changed the sound of country music and the perception of country music, as did artists like, I think, Faith Hill, Shania Twain especially, paved the way for other people to sort of break a little some of the rules.
What about the criticism that they would be more pop than country? It was country meets pop, isn't it?
Didn't matter to me.
No.
I loved it because I was coming from a lot of different backgrounds and I just didn't feel critical that way. But I can see why they were criticized that way. I'm glad they did what they did because it opened the doors for someone like me to have a place in country music where I don't sing with the twangy sound and I don't have the traditional country sound necessarily, but love country instrumentation. I love the mandolin. I love the dobro.
When you get together with a band,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you listening to them, or is there somebody out there listening to them and going, not quite the sound? Because you're trying to replicate, if you like, not replicate exactly, but what's the word? Give the same feeling of the CD, and you've got these people you don't know,
Right.
and you've got to have a family relationship quite soon with them.
Right.
Who does that? Are you the leader?
Well, you know, in the case of the release concert, it was Greg Gronholm. He was the band leader, and he was the one that really he rallied all those players together. And I was trusting him that he had a rapport with them, that he had a relationship with them, and that he knew what would work and what wouldn't work. And I felt tremendous support from this backing band. They were great. I never enjoyed them so much. It was so much fun.
What was it like doing that same thing earlier on the CD in Nashville?
That was scary, but it was incredible. I mean, I was literally showing up, trusting my producer, my co-producer, John Albany, who had hired in the band, that they would be able to deliver the sound that I wanted. And
so you had something in mind?
Definitely. And Mark Waldron, one of my other co-producers, I mean, we had worked up our demos and our ideas prior to the session, but there was that nervousness of, oh my gosh, I hope they nail it. I hope they know what I want. And I did tell them, okay, I'm thinking, you know, this artist, this sound for this track, this is what I'm wanting, and then they would listen to the demo that I had sent up of me singing and playing guitar, and they would stand there and take some notes. And then they'd talk amongst themselves, and then they'd say, let's hit it. And they'd go back to their spots, and they'd just start knocking it out. And we did talk, John Albany and I, about the players, that I wanted him to pull in some players that had played with Amy Grant, and some people the artists that had influenced me. I wanted to pull in all those different people who had played for those types of artists so that I could hopefully get this melting pot.
Did you track it with individual artists playing their track, or did you play it together in the studio?
They played it all at the same time.
Good.
Mm-hmm. And there was a wonderful synergy going on.
Because something happens there that doesn't happen. There's a coldness in that track recording that doesn't happen when you're standing looking at each other.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the studio that we recorded in, I mean, it was in someone's house. So they're in the sort of the sunroom with there's couches and chairs, and they've set their keyboard up, and the other guy's there with his amp and his electric guitar, and the bass guitar player's standing there, and then the drummer's back in that room because he's got to have the right sound in there. But, you know, it was just very casual. It felt very laid back, and everybody had fun. I mean, they all told me they had fun, and that's what you want. Yeah. You want them to have fun because that's going to come through when they're playing.
Absolutely right.
And we didn't beat it down. You know, we didn't labor it. I mean, we just they would take 2 or 3 stabs at each song, and then we pulled the best the best don't
Believe
come near
me,
me. You know?
I'm old enough to have walked into places where I've been frightened to death by the aura of the place and the superiority of the people behind the counter. Nowadays, I mean, how lucky we are now to be able to do it in the back of a car if we wanted to.
Yeah. Well, seriously, because that is intimidating, and I was intimidated, though, in Nashville, because I knew the caliber of the players that were coming in, and that nervousness of them cutting the first song, which was All Right, which was one that I had written with a fabulous writer named Ben Rouse, and fabulous musician. Anyway, and just feeling that, oh my gosh, what if they don't like it? I'm going to feel like an idiot. And I was so relieved when they came in and said, that was a cool song. You know, I could tell the energy changed right then. They knew they weren't just cutting some songs for somebody. I mean, I think they realized they hadn't spent much time with my music prior to the session. So they walked in a little bit like, okay, who are you? What's your story? Are you just... Are you a housewife with a lot of money and you want to cut a record?
Yeah. Is this a vanity project? and are you going to hit the notes?
and I wanted to say, I've been doing this for 10 years. This is my third album, you know, but I just sat down and just
they must have a lot
that
of
the music would speak for itself.
People must go to Nashville with a ton of money, and they're terrible. And they just do it, and these guys get paid and go home.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and it's miserable for the people who are working on those projects, but it does happen.
So how many people do I know who've made albums who say, you want to come and have a look at the room at the back? I've got 750 CDs still left, and I recorded this in 1978. The promotion of it is very important, isn't it?
It's very important, and it's tricky, but a lot easier today with the internet, and just there are so many other avenues for promoting yourself.
What happens next then? I mean, let's suppose that this all works out. Is Daddy stroke Mommy happy to carry on with you? And all the kids, how do they respond? Because I remember one of the kids heckling you once at a concert saying, thanks, Mom.
Yes, that's my 16-year-old son, Jacob. And you know, they're so unaffected. They're like, yeah, that's my mom up there, please, you know. But I'm open to whatever possibilities will come. I feel very comfortable in my own skin right now. I finally feel like this is the path I'm supposed to be on. Inspirational music was difficult because I think there were aspects of my personality that I couldn't share. I really feel like I'm a full, well-rounded artist right now and living a full artistic life.